What is going on YouTube? Hayden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we are going to be looking at XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, as well as the incredible S&P 500 that's managed to have an 8% recovery in literally 4 days' time. And maybe it's finally starting to correlate and influence cryptocurrency as well, as people are starting to, I guess, loosen up a little bit, which is interesting because usually when the Fed rates increase, it causes savings to spike, so people spend less money and they save more. But you can see that's not the case. People are buying it all up. They're buying up the S&P 500. And when we saw the S&P dip, cryptocurrencies dipped as well, as high-tech growth stocks and cryptocurrencies seem to be hand in hand. But we're not necessarily seeing that direct correlation just yet. We didn't see the markets explode like this, but we're now maybe starting to see things like XRP, teeter-totter back to the upside here. We're retesting a very vital moving average on our, symmetrical triangle here, but we are above our resistance, which is pretty cool. So we'll see how we close that today. Ethereum has managed to break through its descending triangle. Incredible, exploding to the upside here. Honestly, this was the go-ahead. We've been very conservative with good faith because we've still been in a bear market and we've been, day after day after day, just experiencing lows and lows and lows. So one would assume, or one would think that we're a little more hesitant towards buying back in for a long position than we are for shorting. So getting ourselves back into this movement of trying to buy in, expecting markets to dip higher is still up in the air, considering we've been experiencing this since November. We've had November, December, January, February, March, 5 months so far that I would consider a bear market. Yes, the past couple of months since January, we have managed to create higher lows, but we're still pretty darn low. So we do have to talk a lot about these cryptocurrencies, the fact that Ethereum broke up, the fact that Bitcoin not necessarily has done it yet, but is trying to. We also have to talk about XRP maybe attempting to do so. And otherwise, I said yesterday that was the last time you'd see this, background here, this brick background. Well, that's not true. Today is the last day. And immediately after recording this and uploading this, I will be driving about 7 to 8 hours trying to hit like Virginia or something like that on our trip down to Florida. So yeah, this is it. And by the time you guys probably watch this, I'll already be on the road, trying to put about 8 hours onto the trip here. So we'll see. I'm just preparing myself. So I had to make a video for you guys. Call me crazy, but yep, that's the dedication. Otherwise, we are still doing our crypto coin display giveaway. If you guys want to win this free crypto coin display giveaway, and yes, I remembered because I was forgetting last week, but every day you've had a chance now to go back. You can still go back on my previous videos and comments XRP and subscribe, or your favorite cryptocurrency and subscribe. That seems to be the most common one. But today's video specifically, you can now enter your favorite cryptocurrency down below, as well as comment subscribed down below in the comments. Just type them in, and I'll be picking the winner on Sunday. And if you're not, or tomorrow, and if you're not subscribed, you will not win one of these free displays that I have in all my videos, except this one and yesterday's. But today's video is brought to us by FREEMOON. We've mentioned FREEMOON before on the channel. FREEMOON specifically will make the world a freer place by generating yield and liquidity. You can see what they plan on doing is giving 5% of every transaction donated to the legal defenses of Julian Assange and Ross Ulbricht, who created like Silk Road, and why am I coming to a blank for the next one, and WikiLeaks. You can see, hopefully you guys are familiar with those, but I will talk more about them at the end of today's video. There is also a 3% of every transaction automatically redistributed to existing token holders via reflection, and a 2% of every transaction is put back into the liquidity pool, and LP tokens are burned, creating deflationary supply. Super cool. More information about FREEMOON will be at the end of today's video, so definitely stay tuned. With that being said, make sure to smash the like button, turn on post notifications. This is all for the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe, and let's dive into today's episode. So guys, first and foremost, top 10 cryptocurrencies markets are starting to boom, which is incredible. We're up only 4% though. It doesn't look like we're doing too well. I mean, just like look at the way Bitcoin's moving. It's not really seeing much volume. Ethereum, I can understand in the past 24 hours. XRP, not really seeing, it's seeing a little bit. But you can see here with a quick refresh once again, just to confirm, we're at 1.89 trillion and everything's green. It's incredible that we're seeing this. It was interesting because we thought when Bitcoin hit its low of like 32.8K, that could be the lowest point because of just the way these bottoms are drawn out. Like if we jump to the weekly charts here, we've pretty much been tracking the bottom You can see here, right when we first retested the moving average here and we slumped below it, not only did we have a very solid support, you can see that for the majority of, Bitcoin's time trading, between 2020 and now, we've been above 30K. And you can see the moving average has managed, the weekly moving average has managed to catch up, and it has allowed the price to recover off of this. Now, we haven't broken through it yet. Obviously, anything's possible. But, the weekly moving average is a very, very, very strong support level here. So the fact that we're staying above this so effortlessly means, hey, we might have hit that bottom and maybe we'll consolidate up. Maybe not explode to all-time highs, but at least consolidate a little bit. But I know that's long-term. You guys don't want to hear this. It's also the same thing, a similar thing on the S&P. You can see if we jump to the weekly here, we've gotten very close to retesting it. But the S&P, to everyone's surprise, when COVID happened, when the pandemic happened, the moving average was much lower, which I get, and we spiked extremely quickly below that. But we also recovered extremely quickly to regain support back at this moving average here. But notice something. We really typically don't break through it that often. I'm just going to scale back a little bit, but you can see for most of the history of the S&P, the weekly moving average is an extremely aggressive and strong support. That almost literally every single time, there's been like very slim and few times that we've actually broken through it. And when it has, it's only lasted like 2 to 3 weeks. But you can see every single time it's either we bounce off and we use the moving average as a support, or sometimes we actually break below it, but it's only for 1, 2, maybe 3 weeks before we recover back above it. You can see very similar here. We had maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. Yes, okay, a little over a month of consolidation below it, but then we immediately recovered out of it and saw a streamline explosion here. So although we didn't see just yet that we're retesting this bottom support on the moving averages for the S&P, we didn't get to that weekly moving average. In this year, we've managed to move the weekly moving average from this bottom support here at like 2,900 points. We've moved it all the way up to a 4,000 point support level, which is insane and it's incredible. Not only do we have the uptrend here, but we have the support. So because we were extremely bearish, we thought 17 to 20% correction is possible. Still is. In this correction, this downtrend here, if things continued to correct lower, it would lead us to this target, right where the moving averages are. That's where our assumption was. That's why we haven't been buying in. But we discussed that if we were to confirm closing above this downtrend here, which we just did, it would be a key buy-in opportunity. And we've confirmed it. This is a full complete closure. So we're above. You can see we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 weeks. 10 weeks, that's 70 days of trading downwards here. We finally broke the pattern. This should ultimately, on the weekly charts at least, stem a correction that carries us up. That's the ideal pattern when you see a breakout from a descending fractal. But enough talk about the S&P. It's just very important that you guys see this. Not only are we now retesting the moving average here on the daily, we should see probably in the next couple of days, hopefully, a bullish cross above the moving averages. We typically break through these moving averages pretty well, and we kind of trend above it. We use it as a support, so hopefully we can blast through this pretty quickly. But you can also see the double bottom, which confirmed the break. So there's a lot of things that we kind of missed, but also gave us enough opportunity to buy in. You can also see this is the neckline. So the way this works here is you can see the neckline is right here. So honestly, these were the opportunities to buy in. So you could have bought in at these bottoms, but they don't confirm it yet. You would theoretically buy in on this with expectations of a run to the upside. That's how you want to buy in on a double bottom. We, however, fortunately bought in right at the bottom here at 41K because we were retesting February lows, which was an incredible buy-in opportunity. And then we saw the prices kind of teeter-totter in here. So we didn't put everything in. At that point, we waited to see how we would consolidate. Either we break through this or we're going to break through this bottom support that we retested 3 times. We didn't. We broke bullish. Then we just were like, okay, let's catch in on this rally before we explode up. And that's what we did. And we've been in profit ever since. So very happy, very fortunate. Regardless, it's long-term hold. Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, not buying into Bitcoin just yet. I'm sorry I've been so biased on the S&P 500 over other cryptocurrencies the past couple of days. That's because we haven't been seeing much action. There's been a lot of action to cover within the S&P, so it's very necessary that we had to talk about that. But you can see, let's just do XRP because that's what you guys are probably more focused on. XRP moving averages here, a lot of rejection. I wouldn't buy in just yet. We're very close to buying in though. Very, very, very close. Let's see how tonight closes. If we can close tonight like maybe 82 cents right here, I'd buy in for a long position that I would enter on Bityard, which I've linked down in the description. #1 cryptocurrency exchange to leverage trade cryptocurrencies. If confirmed, which honestly, it almost looks confirmed here on Bityard. This is the website that we use to leverage trade everything, all the cryptocurrencies. It looks like we might have broken out of it, which is pretty incredible. We've broken through the 99-day and 25-day moving averages. You can even see on XRP here, we're retesting the daily ones on the trading view charts, but not on the Bityard charts here on XRP or XRP on Bityard. But we look pretty comfortable that we're probably going to see a bullish run. And if we see the S&P continue to move up, I mean, Ethereum's already doing so, Bitcoin's already doing so. The problem is a lot of these have these moving averages that are huge problem zones. And if they get rejected off that, it's a problem. But this was, it's unfortunate we didn't buy into here, but this is exactly what I said. We closed above. Key buying opportunity. So we missed out on this. Not a big deal. I don't really trade that much of Ethereum, but something to cover just in case. Still lots of resistance though. There's still lots of resistance to come. So we'll see how this does decide to pan out. Obviously, I've told you guys the moving average on Bitcoin is the thing to pay attention to, as well as this uptrend here. If we break through the floor, we buy in. If we break through the ceiling, we buy in. But we have to pay attention to the moving average, not this resistance here, because we could flip. Same thing with Ethereum. We could flip, but then we'd have to figure out what exactly how exactly everything's trading. And XRP too could easily wick down tonight and then flip to the downside here and continue to fill in this gap here. So you have to spend a lot of attention focusing on these. But otherwise, guys, that's pretty much going to wrap up today's episode. Lots of popular stuff happening within the S&P. Hopefully you took advantage of the market, but that's totally up to you. I know I did. Otherwise, I do want to talk more about FREEMOON with you.
I want to give a huge shout out to FREEMOON for sponsoring today's episode. As with all cryptocurrency projects, please do your own research and never invest anything you can't afford to lose. So guys, both WikiLeaks and the Silk Road were early adopters of Bitcoin. Julian Assange is the founder of WikiLeaks, which is an international nonprofit organization that publishes news leaks and classified media provided by anonymous sources. And Ross Ulbricht created the first darknet market, the Silk Road, as an exercise in free market capitalism, a website where users were free to post and buy whatever they felt necessary, so long as no party was being harmed. Now, these pioneers helped spread the adoption of Bitcoin and its use cases during its precarious early years, and because of this, the cryptocurrency community is forever indebted to these high-profile trailblazers, and the people at FREEMOON have found a way to pay back that debt. Now, inspired by cutting-edge tokenomics, they have combined cryptocurrency's final destination of the moon with the cause of freedom for its earliest advocates, and the result is FREEMOON. Now, FREEMOON's protocol appeals to both the altruist and the hodler, and FREEMOON works as a deflationary token. After each buy and sell transaction, a 10% transaction fee is subtracted and will be distributed as follows. Now, 5% of the transaction will be split evenly into a single treasury address and will be donated to the legal defenses of Julian Assange and Ross Ulbricht, and funds will also be manually remitted periodically. Now, the other 3% of every transaction will be automatically redistributed to existing token holders via reflection, and then the last 2% of every transaction is put back into the liquidity pool, and LP tokens are burned, creating a deflationary supply. Now, FREEMOON is programmed to reward holders while increasing both liquidity and value, and they've also burned all of the developer tokens and founder tokens after launch, which is 20% of the supply, and sent it to a black hole address, and as the address also participates in the protocol, it will then eventually accumulate more tokens, thereby effectively removing them from circulation. Now guys, there's no limit to the burn, and the black hole will actually keep growing, increasing the scarcity of FREEMOON. And having tokens being burnt from both buyers and sellers is what gives deflationary tokens a special advantage over other tokens. Now, doing this actually stabilizes the price relatively early, meaning that there is really a buffer against large sell-offs of the coin. And for further price stability, FREEMOON will use DX lock to restrict 40% of the supply for a duration of 4 years. Now, their total supply consists of 1 quadrillion, with 200 trillion burned dev tokens, 400 trillion for community and marketing, and 400 trillion for DX lock or contract lock. Now, FREEMOON recognizes the magnitude of its mission, and it is one they can't actually accomplish alone. So to incentivize participation, they've actually set aside tokens to help grow their community, and FREEMOON will actually allocate tokens to platforms and entities who share their values. And in the past, powerful movements have grown from people connecting with like-minded people and moving in harmony toward a shared goal. And with a just cause like theirs, they believe the crypto community could actually come together for 2 of its early pioneers and heroes. Now, this cause is ultimately about community, FREEMOON wants to be a meme with a meaning. So guys, with all that being said, for more information about the FREEMOON token, definitely make sure to check out the links down in the description below. Once again, huge shout out to FREEMOON for sponsoring today's episode. As always, make sure to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.